going on, Jerome's? Beautiful day for some Q&A. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions. We'll periodically put it out there on the community tab, and let's fire it up and let's go. Ben Kumer. Hey, Andy. Big fan. Big fan of the show. Thank you. I'm happy the Vikings did the thing on the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. One slight concern I had watching Darnold play is that he tends to stare down his receivers before throwing the ball, which clues defenses into where he's going. Do you think that is something that could be coached out of him? And if not, do you think that will limit his potential as a franchise quarterback in the future? Well, there was a couple instances where things weren't great against the Packers, notably the Aaron Jones wheel route where, I mean, that was a play call. And Kevin O'Connell had such a fixation with getting Aaron Jones in the end zone. I think that clouded his play calling judgment, and he basically admitted as such, right? But Darnold, I mean, he did stare down Jones. It was an easy play for McKinney. It was a PBU. It was not interception, no problem. But also, throughout the season, like, he has shown that he's gone through his progressions. He's looked off safeties, and it's a quantum leap of where he was in previous seasons. So I don't think it's too concerning. Next, these nerdy things. Nailed it. Should the Vikings be running more bubble screens or similar plays to quickly get the balls into the hands of our playmakers on the outside more often? We have guys that can make players miss, and I feel like we haven't opened that door yet. So the Vikings haven't run a ton of like outside bubble screens per se, but they are amongst the league leaders in screens run. A lot of them to Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, a couple tight end screens. They're 12th right now at 12.3% of their passes are screens. Darnold is 14 of 14 for a $128. 9.1 yards per screen is second in the NFL. So, I mean, the Vikings, they've run screens a lot more efficiently, and it's something that O'Connell and company have gotten better every single week, and it really is like a concerto. It's a concert where everyone has to be on the same page. The offensive line timing has to be right. The receivers can't just be blocking downfield, and everything just has to sync up, right? And the Vikings screen game has done well so far, but in terms of just ways to get the ball into the hands of playmakers like Jefferson and Addison and Naylor, yeah, I would love to see more of it. Next, Wesley White. How will this offense look with Hawk back? Because right now, Sam doesn't really have a guy he can just check down to like TJ can. So I think once TJ gets back, I mean, this offense, you're going to hit the diesel. So you have one of the best over-the-middle targets in the National Football League, and not just dump-offs over the middle. We're talking about like threatening deep down the seams and down the middle. So Hockenson back is going to be monstrous for this offense because what do you do? What are you going to do? Because you got Aaron Jones, you got Hockenson, you got Justin freaking Jefferson, best receiver in the league. Jordan Addison is back, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. Jalen Speedy Naylor can do the damn thing. So, I mean, what do you do? Also, we didn't even mention Ty Chandler, and also Josh Oliver's been fantastic too. I mean, how do you defend this thing? It's going to be tough, man. Can't wait to see it in full bloom. Next, Nick. What do you think is more important for Kwesi to address before the trade deadline? Shoring up the interior offensive line to aid in pass protection for Sam, or going out and adding a big defensive tackle to help Harrison Phillips stop opposing running backs? I would say right now, defensive tackle. Now, we could dream. We could go big, talking about Dexter Lawrence II coming in from the New York Football Giants. His cap hit, prorated, would be about $4 million if they can pull off that trade. Now, the Vikings are bereft of draft picks in the middle rounds, but also if you can get it done for a first and a future third, I would trade for Dexter Lawrence in a heartbeat, or a guy who's going to be a free agent, and I want the Vikings to sign him for agency next offseason. Osa Odigizua, the pride of UCLA, minor distinction. But for the Cowboys, like, hasn't gotten off to a great start this year, but he's a pressure machine in the middle, and he's really tough to block, and that's something that the Vikings have been missing. Or maybe they're free Levi Drake Rodriguez. I don't know, man. But in terms of offensive line, I actually feel okay about it, especially once Reisner is going to be back in the fold here quite shortly. Lastly, so basketball. Free thoughts on the Cat trade. For me, I like that Connolly is always looking to improve. It's hard to lose a fan favorite, but I think Cat was a little soft. Whoa. He needed Ant to motivate him and still would get in his own head at times. Maybe didn't have a championship mentality. So I will always love Karl Anthony Towns. He's been through a lot, and he was loyal to this team, and he stuck by this squad through a lot of different things. And he was the fact that he came back from the knee last year, fun playoff run. He dominated a couple of those games in the playoffs, and how can you not like Karl-Anthony Towns? Like Cat is the best, but once the emotion of the move came out, because by the way, before last year, a lot of people wanted to trade Cat anyway. All right, so a lot of crocodile tears out there because of the really fun year. But Julius Randle is like a true old school number 4 power forward. He won't have any problems playing with Gobert or Naz, and I do think that he should come off the bench if they don't flip him again. DiVincenzo is fantastic. He's going to provide instant offense off the bench, and also, it seemed like he wasn't really happy with the whole Villanova crew reunited with the Knicks. I felt like he was kind of over it. And also, I'm not really sure about the first rounder from the Pistons. Is that protected, or can that be? Don't know, man. But I get it because financially, they don't want to pay the luxury tax, and it would be hard to keep like Nikhil. It would be hard to keep Naz if they kept Cat around. So I get it. I understand it. But also, I am worried that the New York market and the Knicks fans are just gonna like eat Karl-Anthony Towns alive, which kind of sucks. Sucks, man. But did this get the Wolves closer to a championship? I understand the argument. And also, I respect that Cat took a subordinate role to Ant, but now it's fully Anthony Edwards' show. Like, he is 1-1. There's no 1B. There's just one, right? Also, it's going to give Naz some more minutes as well. So maybe it'll work out in the end, but still kind of sucks. Fan favorite, let go. But yeah, business is the business. But that's it. Your thoughts are thoughts. Q&A. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull, production value.